Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man, giving you the truth. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. We're getting back to the Isaiah 4:1 series. There's been a lot of talk on YouTube about monogamy and polygyny, polyamory, all these different relationship things that people do. And there's been a lot of back and forth. There's been a lot of finger pointing. I've been on several panels. All they do is argue, but that's what I want to talk about today. A couple things in regards to all this back and forth with women. Listen, man. And before I do, I ain't going to be so rude. Isaiah 4:1 says, in that day, 7 women will take hold of one man, saying, we'll eat our own food, wear our own clothes, and let us be called by your name. Take away our disgrace. The disgrace is all this dusty talk, all this high-value man talk. Some of it's disgraceful. It is. Like, you won't deal with a dude because he's not at a certain point. Some of you don't even have kids, and some of you are too old to have kids. So why does that matter so much? Are you looking for something to take disgrace? The disgrace is OnlyFans. Black China grifted on OnlyFans till she made $240 million. Then she deleted her account and got her butt implants removed. This is what guys is up against. And this is kind of along the subject matter. I would entitle this, don't worry about these women too much. Stay focused. What do I mean by this? Many things. For one, let's start with the polygyny thing. Listen, man. If you choose to practice it or you already practicing it, don't worry about the people who ain't. Don't worry about the guys who don't believe in it. Let them keep simping. After you state your case and after you give them the information, move on. Move on. I'm not in the convincing business. What, like I said, was good enough for the Most High is always going to be good enough for me. He proved that it was good enough for him. In 2 Samuel chapter 12, it is mentioned how the Most High gave King David Saul's mansion and his wives when he died. And for those of you that try to misconstrue that scripture, he said, if you would have wanted more, I would have given you even more. So you know that wasn't like a non-relationship way that he gave David King Saul's wives. Because why would he say it like that? See, some of y'all, I think the problem is y'all don't know how to, y'all try to use the scripture, but you don't know how to interpret it. And you don't listen to people who know how to interpret it. You listen to preachers who don't know what they're talking about. They just dress the part, look the part, act the part, and drive the part. So you kind of is confused. When polygyny was always, always practiced by our ancestors. Our ancestors are not Europeans. We might have a couple straggling in through there, but for the most part, our ancestors were either Native Americans or Africans or from the Asia Minor, like different places in the world. And none of them practice monogamy. Again, nothing wrong with it. It's an option. But I'm telling you, when you get on here and you, like one dude was trying to tell me polygyny was evil. You're evil for saying it's evil, because anything that God did is righteous. God is light, in him is no darkness at all. So for you to say it's evil, you're evil. The Most High is the righteous standard of all things. Anything that's good enough for him is good enough for me. So I want to tell y'all, man, don't be trying to convince these women. If you like a woman and you tell her, hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, which I tell you all the time, don't lie to these women. That's simping. Guys be on here talking about what's simping. Lying to women is one of the epitomes of simping. That's to say that you can't live without them, you can't get nobody else. Simping. So you tell them, I ain't gonna lie to you, I believe in polygyny. If you're not practicing it but you plan to, you tell her that. I plan to practice it. So I just want to let you know up front, if you still like me, you want to deal with me, we can still deal, but that's what it's gonna be, and go on with the flow. Again, ain't nothing wrong with guys. See, the Christian church in some ways is kind of making guys rainbow. They be scared to say a woman is attractive in most of these churches. Ain't nothing wrong with you saying who you find attractive. But sometimes there's some people that I find attractive that when I hear them talk enough, when I see how they act, it like diminishes, like it does. And so on Anton Daniels, it was a guy, I think his name was Wick, the basement, was arguing with this lady, and Anton ended up putting her off the show. I agree with both of them, and one thing I would say to Wick is, man, ain't no need to be like insulting them like that, man. We men, we don't got to do that to them, man, because the selections are plentiful for all of us. Don't let no guy acting rainbow, judging your beauty or lack thereof. Don't let none of them tell you otherwise. The selections are plentiful for all of us, men. All of us. None of us can get them all, but the selections are plentiful. Understand that. You should have confidence, and if you don't, you need to figure out what it is you're thinking in your mind about these women. Because again, we ain't mesmerized by them. We're not mesmerized by them. If they look good, hey, she look good. Or we'll say a couple words and then we move on. Either you shoot your shot or you don't. You got a wife, she don't want to cooperate with you. She don't want to give you none. She acting a fool. You divorce her as soon as it's comparable. Like, everybody's situation is different. Like, sometimes you might have one that's going to try to take you to court and break you off. That's $200,000. That's $100,000 on each side by average. That's why a lot of people ain't divorced yet. You get that no contest. You got to get her to agree to that no contest and negotiate. But once they prove and once they show you that they ain't no coming back from certain stuff, man. Like, when they start going 3 months, 6 months, a year without sex, I don't care what. If you didn't do nothing harmful to them and they do that to you, ain't no coming back from it. It's just not. They should have thought about that when they played that game. It's time for you to either move on as a single man or get you a new woman. I wouldn't advise monogamy, but hey, man, to each his own. You giving them an advantage. You putting yourself in the same situation all over again. If you get in a monogamous relationship, you try to get married with a marriage license. You putting yourself in the same situation all over again. Don't get no marriage license. And have an agreement in place. You still can have a prenuptial agreement without a marriage license. All you gotta do is write it down and go take it and get it notarized at a UPS store, at a bank. They supposed to be catering to us. When you start catering to a woman's emotions, you're done. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. So, and they talking about income. Well, you ain't even got the income to be polygyny. You obviously don't know about polygyny. I can give you an example. Let's say a man my age, matter of fact, let's make him older than me, 49. He decides that he wants 2 women. He starts them out as concubines. they get past that stage. He said, okay, well, I'm going to make these women my wives. But they are in their 40s. Let's say one of them is like 42, the other one's like 45. They ain't going to be having no babies, more than likely. So all three of them can work and put their money together as a team and get very rich. That's the scenario. Like I told y'all about the guy told me about his friend who has 2 wives. One of his wives stays at home, takes care of home, takes care of the kids, drive the kids where they need to go, so on and so forth. The other one works. You know, I mean, people think polygyny won't work. It's because they don't understand it. With the right people involved in it, it'll work. But, you know, stay focused, though. That's what I want to tell you guys. Stay focused on your purpose. You know, don't spend too much time looking for women. You know, you see somebody you like, move quick in terms of saying what she's about. Not in terms of marriage, but in terms of saying what she's about and whether or not you want to spend time dealing with her. Let me go back here so I can finish this up. But anyway, you know what? We'll finish tomorrow. We'll talk about this more tomorrow. We ain't really been doing Isaiah 4:1. We're going to get back to it, though. Stay focused. Move fast to figure out what's going on, who you want to see what they talking about. And just focus on getting you some money and getting your accolades and preparing yourself for the worst and the best to come in your life. So don't be, well, I got to stay optimistic. No, you prepare for the worst, man. There's people out there that want to ruin people's lives. And they'll do anything. Who really even needs robots? We don't need robots. They're doing that to basically empower themselves over people even more. But anyway, just stay focused. Stay focused. Don't be dissing these women. Ain't no need to do that. Don't be mean to them. If they mean to you, just move around, get away from around them. But don't be mean to them. Ain't we men? We don't got to do that. We could be men, and we got to learn how not to stoop down and get in all these petty arguments with them. You know, and just do what we do as men. We conquer, we hunt, we dominate. You know, whether you the little undersized nerd or you the oversized giant, you still, as a man, and if you're a man, you got to learn how to conquer and dominate. You know, y'all problem, y'all try to do it to each other. Y'all try to do it to each other. You're supposed to be conquering things in life, building your life up in terms of occupation and this, that, and the other, and dominating women, the women in your life. But we'll talk about it more. We're going to talk about it more. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel.